the thing that stood out for me.
Yeah. Well, people also need to be reminded that they matter and what the decisions that they matter in the not only decisions that they make, but the efforts they put into what they're doing.
Hmm.
You know, I don't think people hear that enough. They kind of feel like they're alone oftentimes in what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish and what they are building on and are developing. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Right. I do feel that development process is sometimes requires other people to reflect for you, right? Because I think sometimes I know for me, I'm so in it that sometimes I don't necessarily see the progress I've made, or I don't necessarily acknowledge the growth I've made. And so sometimes I think it takes people outside of you to help you. Hey, you've developed there, right? Like it's
yeah,
acknowledge that, right? Yeah, you may have been feeling the growing pains, but you're growing.
yeah. That and also it's not a straight line either. You
Yeah,
know, it is a continual process in that it's okay that you've made some mistakes along the way too. It's part of the process.
right.
It's not going to be perfect.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
no.
All right. So, we did compassion. We did do compassion. All right. Let's do a different section. Let's do gratitudes.
Okay.
Gratitude. What are the little things that make you feel grateful?
It's gonna sound kind of Hallmark-esque, but I I'm grateful uh to get thank yous from people.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes there is a feeling of that not enough good deeds get thanked or you get gratitude from others from things. But the times I do hear thank you from people does make I'm very grateful for that. I don't expect them,
Yeah.
uh, but when they happen, I do cherish that. I honor that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, this is gonna sound bad. I'm grateful when people remember, and I think sort of kind of going off what you said, when people remember to invite me to things, right? Like when they're like,
hmm,
hey, we're thinking about doing X, Y, and Z. Like
yeah,
I have a friend that recently invited me to go to a corn maze, and so the idea of somebody's thinking about me, I feel uh it makes me feel very grateful that I don't have a lot of friends, but the friends that I do have, right, like they sort of reach out to me, and I have a sort of like a gaggle of of friends in the Boston area, and occasionally they send me texts of like events that are happening, and sometimes I'm like, oh, you're meeting around like 8 o'clock at night. Thank you for thinking about me, but I'm already in my PJs,
so yeah, yeah, yeah,
and so it's like a double-edged sword. Like it's like if it's early in the day and you invite me, and the fact that you think about me, great. And I'm probably gonna go. But if it's like you think about me, you invite me later on in the evening, I'm probably not gonna go. But that makes me feel bad. Though. I'm like the fact that you were just thinking about me like that warms my heart.
yeah. That's always a great thing. Yeah, to be considered.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
always a good thing. Yeah.
All right. connect or connections, uh, before making a telephone call, do you ever rehear what you are going to say and why? Or rehash, rehear?
Oh, no, I
No,
don't.
you don't. I do.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, okay, if
Really?
if if
Okay.
if if
Why?
if I'm calling X, Y, and Z, like, okay, I gotta think of what I'm gonna say. And then if they're specifically if I'm asking for something and I'm like, oh, maybe they might say no.
Oh,
Let me think of like
oh,
four things I could, rebuff on that.
well, it depends on what the situation is. Sometimes, yeah, you have to it could be depending on what is being established, and yeah, you have to rehash something. But I don't have expectations on whether it's a yes or no.
Yeah,
I just have to take this is what's happening at this point in time, and that's it. Can only go based off of that.
right, right,
Yeah.
yeah. And I do know that there are a bunch of people who, and I work with some of them, who are nervous about making phone calls to either paying their bills, or if they see somebody calling, they would prefer the person leave a message, or they prefer texting. Like there is this like anxiety in when
Mhm.
you're trying to like rehear, or I don't know, you know. There's this anxiety.
Well, one of the I live by the mode of expect the unexpected. So with people, even if there's sort of a prolonged thing that's not been resolved yet, you really don't know. And I realize that it's best to not have an outcome in my head of
Yeah.
what is going to happen or not happen. The only thing you can do is be honest in your communication and what your needs are.
Uh-huh.
But you to believe that you know what's going to happen with that person at that particular point in time is not
Yeah.
ideal. It's
Yeah.
just better to sort of have an open slate, and there might be a new clue or a new indication or a new something that happens with that person at that point in time.
Mhm.
Um, and it may be something to where this does not need to continue, or maybe there may be reasons why certain things have not developed or happened yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
And I agree with you. Mind reading is not a healthy thing to do.
uh-huh. I mean,
Trying to mind read other people, like trying to think ahead of like what they're gonna do. Like it yeah, it's not a healthy thing to do.
no, yeah, people can be strange that way. So it's not to have like it's gonna happen this way. No, it's probably not.
Okay, last question. It's under insights. Share
Uh-huh.
one social issue that matters to you and why.
A social issue that matters to me and why.
Yeah.
Um, um, I think what matters to me right now is at the present time is being ignorant of what's happening at the present time. I think if anyone that's being completely ignorant of what's happening right now, that is a problem.
Mhm.
Um, Again, I can't make people be invested, but if you're apathetic to what's happening right now, there's something very wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes the waking up process will happen much later for a lot of people, which is, still okay. But at the same time, you have to wake up at some point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're not woken up yet, you might want to get your head examined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say for me, and sort of, like, I think because you put the thought in my head, AI impersonating people, right? Like,
Ooh, yeah.
AI sort of like, saying, like for a long time it was like the Pope in the puffy jacket. Do you remember that? There was like a Pope in the puffy jacket, and you couldn't tell until you really looked at the hands, because the hands didn't look right. And then just like, going progressive even from there, of having like, there was like an AI generated Obama speech or something like that, right? And so
I didn't see that, but
so for me, like, being really socially conscious about, like, making laws, like having like, AI, when they do stuff like that, having a tag to show that this is a AI generated material, right? Because that's how fake news is done, right? Like, you show a bunch of, like, kids getting blown up, insert X, Y, and Z, what country, um, and that's not really happening, but AI is showing that's what's happening. Like, you could cause a civil war, right? Like it it's scary to think about how, again, don't get me wrong, I'm all about technology. I'm all about robots. I'm all about being integrated into cyborgs. But we need laws. I
I
definitely.
would say being integrated into robots would be like, say, if um, a, a robot could help with surgery and saving someone's life, sure. Well, use your laser to get rid of cancer cells or this, that, and the other. But having that same robot be your best friend or be your partner is something else altogether. You can't replace human love and experiences with uh, a AI boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, or husband. Like, this doesn't work.
I don't know. Technology is really like messing with our heads, right? Like, like we're having more relationships online with people, right? Like I've bumped into people who truly believe, and again, right, like, it's the time that we're living in, um that the person that they're talking to online, that they're in a relationship with, like, so it's like a virtual relationship. And then, like, as you're pointing out, there's even like AI generated, like, chat boxes that could take on personalities or characteristics, either for your sexual kink, or to have sort of like a mental health, wellness check, right? And so like, like, I think the level of technology is gonna vary, but it's gonna change the way that we think. Like, if you're giving a kid who's like 4 years old an iPad, and they're no longer making eye contact with their caregiver, but like they're making eye contact with, like, like this screen, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
literally like rewiring the brain to socialize completely different. So, like, to have a whole generation where they do not, or they have never seen or have never engaged in a public phone, a New York booth phone in New York City. Like, there's a whole generation that don't know about public phones, right? Like,
Well, this is the reason why I hate to quote Michael Jackson here, but when he said at the end of that Martin Bashir thing, when he said, "This is why children go to school with guns. They want to be held. They want to be touched." That by their parents, basically their family. I have to agree with him on that. I understand why he- that is. There's too much of a disconnect from people saying hello to each other. And even if they fall on their face in doing that, if you make that attempt to do that and continue to do that, I
Yeah,
promise you,
yeah,
you'll have better interactions with each other by doing that than sitting up and you are like this the entire time and
right.
you don't even know how to say hello to the person that's sitting right next to you.
Right.
There is, I promise you, people, there you can't you can't continue to ignore each other. You
And
cannot.
and we're social creatures. Like we're
We
literally
have to be.
wired to be with other people.
Yeah. So by sitting up and you can't relate to the people in your community, whether it's your family or to a friend or to people at your job, people at your school, there's something really wrong with that. And I promise you, people, whoever's watching this this podcast right now, we got to do better
Well,
because
I also think I think like people fear being awkward, right? I'm just now getting to a point in my life that's like I don't I don't give a fuck, right? Like I'm probably gonna say something stupid. I'm gonna apologize.
we all do.
I'm probably gonna give misinformation, and I will circle back around and correct that if that's the case, right? Like,
And
but
it's
I
okay to make mistakes in conversations with people. This is what's being human is all about. You know, you're not going to always be at your best, and that is the issue. That is a problem right there. It's like we all are going to have moments where we make mistakes. It's okay. It's all right.
but I think like we live specifically Western. We live in a
Mm.
society that says that you have to be perfect, right? Like you have to present
Who said
perfect.
that's uh, unacceptable? I mean, there's probably, we all are. There's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah, yeah,
There's going to
right.
be moments where even at your best, there's probably something that could be tweaked and be better. But who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah.
Who gives a fuck at the end of the day? We
Well,
are.
again, I think it goes back to a little bit to what you're saying in the sense of the social media piece, right? Like, you have people who are taking like these, like these pictures of themselves on vacation, right? Like you have people who are taking, like like monitored or edited pictures of them
Mhm,
having breakfast in bed, right? Like they want to sort of portray a lifestyle to the
mhm.
observer, right? And so it's
Uh-huh.
it feels like when I see somebody on Instagram and it's like, oh, it looks like you've had plastic surgery. It's like, is that really you? Right? Like, are you showing and I get it. Like we're a youth obsessed culture. Like we want to present in a way that
No.
that seems to be youthful, but within that's in the structure of being, I guess, perfect, right? Like I want you to sort of be envious of my life because you believe I'm living the perfect ideal life.
I
um
mean, I would love to be a lot smaller. I'm not exactly what I was 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. So what? I mean, you age, you gain some weight. Um, if you feel that you need to lose weight, then get on a treadmill or get on or walk. Go with your friends and go walking.
yeah,
For 30 minutes to an hour a day. you
yeah,
know, uh, to do things that are more invested uh, in health,
yeah,
and it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process. Any trainer that will tell you if you really want to say, uh, to do something that's invested into your health or whatnot, it is a process to say lose weight and to reach a goal
Hmm.
at the gym or whatnot. But it's again, things don't happen overnight. It's everything is a process. Everything is a much slower, and
Yeah.
then people think that than it is, and we are always going to be a steady work in progress. I could look at, say, the end result of this, say, interview or this podcast and say, I should have said X, Y, and Z. I should have said this better. My skin may not look the best today or whatnot. There's a few, what is it, bumps on my face that should not be there or
Some
wrinkles.
grays. I got some grays going on here.
Grace, I've got tons of grays, but I'm grateful that I get up every day and those things are there that are imperfections, well, alleged imperfections, but at
Yeah.
least
Yeah.
I know I'm still here and that
Hmm.
passage of time has is showing me that I'm still here. It's okay. I'm grateful to I would rather be here and there's a few grays and a few extra pounds rather than I'm emaciated in some dark corner somewhere, for just simply because I want to be a particular size. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to take things as they are. I mean, I'm never gonna be perfect. I never was perfect, and it's okay. I'm here, and I have the ability to have my place in life and do what I'm supposed to do. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I will be always championing that. More so than I have to be a certain way to look a certain way.
Right.
So,
Well, and
yeah.
I think tagging on to that, right? I also feel like as I get older, I realize it's it's a mindset, right? Like even though I'm getting gray hair, gray hairs on my beard, um,
Mhm.
internally I still feel like I'm 15, right? Yes, like my body says no, you're not 15, and you can't necessarily do those things that you used to do when you're 15. But
Yeah.
I think like it's the mentality. Like if the mentality is and again, it's not about positivity, if it's in a mindset where you're sort of like, yes, the glass is half empty, half full, right? Like you sort of have that ability to acknowledge that, yeah, awful things are going to happen. People are aging. Like family members, or you're going to lose them. But regardless of where you are in that aging process, if your mindset isn't sort of like aware of the dialectics of the bad and the good of life, then yeah, you're probably not gonna one feel healthy to do healthy things. And to your again, these are all what I'm saying is probably coming from a like a able-bodied position, right? Like, so because I'm fairly healthy. I could walk up the stairs. I could bend over without too many issues. I have no sort of like respiratory issues.
Mhm.
But it's also the mindset that, like, even if you are sort of like limited, the mindset also plays a factor in how you sort of approach the practice, which I think you're mentioning. Like, find a practice in life that you could do, because you are a work in progress, right? Like, if that practice is, I'm gonna get together with my friends and like have a little kiki, or a yoga practice, or your for you your art, right? Like, if I have something that I'm engaging in that's either challenging me or asking me to ask these important questions about myself and the life that I'm living, and bringing me in the moment, right? Like, yeah, the aging process is not going to be as hard,
Mhm.
specifically working on that mindset, which I think is important. Um,
I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I actually take that to heart. It's the reality is that again, there's no such thing as perfection, just as it's not. You know, um, I definitely knew. I had to learn the art of nothing I do is ever going to be done at its best. There's always things that could be better. And I think that there's a certain freedom in that um, you did certain things, it wasn't at its best, but it could be better. And that's actually a great thing. That
Yeah.
means you work harder at whatever that skill that you're trying to get better at. You have room for improvement in that, and that's anything in life.
Yeah.
Whether it's public speaking, whether it's losing weight, or bulking up at the gym, whatever those things are that you're trying to get better at. Um,
But
you
for me,
have to.
that's the key, right? Like, as long as you're working on trying to get, and again, I know sometimes it's not easy. It's not ideal, and maybe you don't want to get better, or you don't want to change your life, right? Like, specifically if you're like in recovery and you're like, I want to be sober, or it's like,
Mhm.
I want to change my job, and like all of that heavy lifting and the changing process is real, and being honest with yourself, like, do I want to change, or am I changing for sort of selfish or narcissistic ideas, right? Because I'm gonna look good or perfect, right? Like, is that your motivating factor, right? Like, is
Well, it
that
has to start here first.
yeah,
If you do not have the mindset that that is going to happen, then it's never going to happen.
yeah,
You have to already in your mind want whatever that thing is. Whatever is that you are envisioning, it has to be here first. If it's not here first, it's not going to happen,
right, right.
you know.
Hey, folks, this was awesome, and if you've liked it, thumbs up, please, and I'll leave Ricardo's information and for your art gallery that's happening in Newark, which is awesome because I love the idea of Newark, pouring artistic energy into it, which makes me feel good.
Yes, and I want to give a special shout out to Utak West and Altagracia Montilla, who are the directors of the Seventh Space in Newark. Of just indebted to you, and with utmost gratitude that they are showing my work there at the present time for at the Golden State. I'm very grateful for their dedication to sharing my work with the public, and I'm very grateful of their support.
Okay.
So I want to give them a definitely a special shout out. Yes,
Yeah, no.
yes.
I love any venues that are able to do that, because that's special, right? Because not a lot of people get that opportunity. So to have a venue that's like, yes, and to have someone to say like, oh, I've known about you way before you've known about me, like
Hmm.
that must feel good too.
Always, yes, always.
Hey, folks, I will see you on the other side, and don't forget to be kind to yourselves. See ya.
Thank you.